Hi everyone, I'm about to check out Data. It's a cloud platform that doesn't charge you any fees and it tends to be free forever. It's most comparable to something like Railway or Fly.io, but it's free. So I'm going to see what's going on with Data, how easy the onboarding experience is, and if it's something that can be considered as an alternative to Railway, which is how I mainly host my projects right now. So what we're looking at here is Data's website, data.sh. Apologies to the team if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. I'm going to pronounce it Data. It seems to be the most reasonable one. They seem to be an international company. They have a bunch of different translations for their main title piece here. But the description is build and deploy your ideas on the universe's most friendly developer platform. Say goodbye to servers and bills because data is free forever. And they have a call to action to join. Let's do some scrolling real quick to see what Data's offerings are. So they offer something called Micros, which is a small way to host a miniature API that has a short time to live, so it gets spun up for a request and then scales down after. Built-in auth, which is great, and fast deployment times, which is also great. I really appreciate the fast deployment times that Railway offers me, so I'm hoping for something similar to that experience. Let's see. Next they have Base. Database is a super easy to use production grade NoSQL database that comes with unlimited storage. It offers an easy to use API, unlimited databases, let's see if it's unlimited storage as well, a graphical UI, which is always appreciated. Being able to touch your database graphically occasionally is always fantastic. And lastly, they have Drive. Easy to use cloud storage solution by Data. This is probably most comparable to something like a storage bucket in Google Cloud or Amazon S3 storage. So that's what I imagine it to be. And we can see from the little code example, it looks like it is something like that. So, of course, everything presents itself as easy to use, very fast, and it looks like Python, Node, Go, and just, raw HTTP requests are supported. So they offer SDKs for Python, Node, and Go. I'm going to be using Python today since that's my preferred language, but let's get started. Join Data. I'm going to sign up as myself and provide hopefully a secure password and my email. Let's ignore the fact that I didn't have a secure password initially. It was a throwaway one, so none of you better catch me slacking right here. I'm going to open up a new window and drag it over here where I go verify myself on Data. Just give me a second. Alrighty, so we should be ready to sign in. Alright, so this was my introduction to Data. I've done very little reading other than seeing what they were offering on the platform, and it looks like they have a very minimalistic interface. Primarily interacting through Discord, which is a pretty modern way to handle customer service nowadays for these newer companies. They offer a Discord as their entire support forum, and we can see. Welcome to Data Cloud. With Data, you can focus on building out your ideas while we handle the rest. Data Cloud consists of minimal config cloud primitives, like micros, bases, and drives, which can be combined into different projects of any size. You can create as many projects and resources as you like, all for free. So let's get started by creating the first project exactly as they recommend. Region, I'm going to go ahead and set myself in the US. Alrighty. So I've already inspected this script earlier, so I know that nothing particularly scary is going on. But this is going to be installed on Linux. So let's drag this over here. So this is normally very unsafe, so don't do this in isolation if you don't know ahead of the time. You haven't inspected the script yourself, something like that. Alrighty, so now I have the CLI installed. They recommend reading the docs, so I open the docs in another tab. Let's see, are these also the docs? Yeah, so here's some stuff. Let's check out micros. Data new my micro. Looks like I didn't copy it. There we are. Let's probably have to restart my terminal after having installed the CLI. Oh, it's not found. Let's see, this is all part of the onboarding experience, so we'll track down what's going on. It looks like it was successfully installed. I see. I need to read all the options. So I'm just going to set up an alias for data for the time being. Alright, fantastic. So this looks like it's not auth for necessarily just the command line. It's just auth overall, specifically applied to something. Yeah, it looks like data login is what I'm interested in. Fantastic. So now I have the CLI authenticated, and I'm probably actually ready to get started with micros now. So let's run data new my micro. Yes. Okay. Data new Python. So this is interesting, just have to read a little bit. Try this one more time. I just didn't provide a name, okay. So it looks like we've created it. Is it here? Yeah, it looks like we have created everything. Since this is a new terminal, it's in the wrong directory, so I'm going to go ahead and move this. Move first micro down into my programming YouTube directory. And looks like we have a main.py. Let's go ahead and output that to see what we're looking at real quick. Simple hello world, and we'll open this up in VS Code. So we have a data state that's probably a private key, but I can always take down this project later on. And we have define app hello world. So everything looks fine and dandy. Let's continue on with the references here. Alright, let's click into the micro that we made. So Visor is data's logging solution. So this would be for, tracking, visits to your API, right? Doing that sort of stuff. We can attach it to a domain, and we can clone a micro locally after it's been uploaded online. We already have it locally, so we don't need to do that. Alright, cool. So we have that. Let's see, how do we actually visit this now? Deploying changes. Let's try just data deploy. Everything is up to date, so is this live? Interesting. Oh, I see. I just wasn't paying attention. Fantastic. So we have a randomly generated string at data.dev, and it says hello world. So let's convert this API into something cool. let's do an addition API endpoint. So that can let us see how to pass API parameters. Let's see, I'm interested in FastAPI, so I'm probably going to copy this FastAPI example. Let's go over to VS Code, delete the code here, paste it in the FastAPI example, save, and let's deploy again. Excellent. Let's test out that our changes have propagated. Not sure what's going on. Maybe we'll need to check out the logs. So it's working on getting the logs ready from Visor. Yeah, so gonna have to figure out what's going on here. Not sure if working means functioning or it's loading or what's going on. Let's try and refresh real quick. No, still having some issues. Ah, excellent. I see. So we're going to have to create a requirements.txt to specify our dependencies. I'm going to go ahead and make a Python virtual environment. So let's go Python. Do I have Python 3.9? Yeah, I do. So Python 3.9. I just recently reinstalled Python here for 3.11, so it seems that some of my dependencies have broken. Let's try this again. Excellent. Activate the environment, and we can go ahead and pip install FastAPI. So we're collecting FastAPI, and we're going to drop it into our requirements.txt. We won't need any server, so we should only need the FastAPI dependency. Everything is downloaded, so let's go ahead and pip freeze. And yep, we see all our dependencies, so let's go ahead and put that in requirements.txt. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and data deploy again, and run terminal, data deploy. And you can see that we're reading in the dependencies now for data. It's working, but it's free, so a little bit of a delay isn't too terrible. We can refresh. We're still getting a bad gateway error. Yeah, looks like everything has deployed. And there we go. We have our FastAPI server built from zero. Now let's add some parameters. So we're going to take A as an int and B also as an int. And what we'll return is A plus B. Fantastic. I'll go ahead and install Black. This is a code formatter. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend it for any Python code. And we'll save that. So we should be accepting two parameters passed to the root index, and it will return the sum of them. Now, this is possible. No, the FastAPI should take care of the automatic type conversion of any strings to ints, and we'll be able to test it out here in a second. So let's data deploy again. Successfully deployed changes. Looks like it's still saying hello world. Alrighty, so values are missing. So let's say a equals 1 and b equals 2. And look at that. We have successfully spun up an API to add two numbers that are passed as query parameters to the URL and data, and however long this took. So it looks like I do recommend data so far. It's very simple to use. We were able to get something up and running, debug during the onboarding process, and look at this, we get some pretty nice detailed logs that would have been helpful if I had enabled initially. So I recommend data. I'm not sure if I'll be switching all my projects over here from Railway. I quite enjoy Railway. I trust them as a company. They haven't been around very long, but they seem reputable. And I don't know much about data yet, but it's definitely something to keep our eye out for. They're still figuring out their monetization strategy, but it looks like a good thing. Try out data. Thank you.